Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Nigeria remembers her fallen heroes as President Buhari, service chiefs and other top government officials lay wreaths in Abuja in memory of the officers and men. Widows of officers and men killed in the line of duty lament their condition, alleged neglect and poor welfare. Change of guard at police headquarters. Muhammad Adamu takes over as Acting Inspector General of Police, promises to be professional and impartial. And UK House of Commons MPs vote against Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit deal 432 to 202. Labour leader Corbyn seeks vote of no confidence. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channelsweb you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app has an eyewitness feature that you can use to share pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and then follow the instructions. Today, the nation remembers the servicemen and women who put their lives on the line to protect the country. In this next report, our correspondent Orelua Shonibare looks at the courage of those who fought and are still fighting for the unity of Nigeria.
Whenever the drums of war sounds, those who are called upon to rise in the defense of their country are men and women who are sworn to serve and protect. These soldiers go into every battle with the understanding that it may be their last, but that has never deterred the spirit.
You must be resilient, you must be tough, you must be courageous in the performance of your duties at all times.
For a country like Nigeria, its post-independence story cannot be complete without the mention of the armed forces, which have involved themselves in the affairs of the nation in various degrees. From fighting for its sovereignty, like in the case of the Civil War, which ended 49 years ago, to repelling insurgency, as seen in present-day Nigeria, which the Chief of Army Staff says will be guarded jealously.
The nation's territorial integrity, particularly along our land borders, has not been breached as we continually maintain a posture to defend Nigeria's territorial rights and interests.
This confidence from the top helps motivate the troops to believe that in spite of all the odds, there is light at the end of the tunnel. What more can be said to show gratitude to people who stay true to the cause of ensuring the safety of men, women, and children they do not know and may never meet? Except thank you. Orelua Shonibare, Channels Television News.
Talk a bit more about the significance of the day. I'm being joined live from Abuja by retired military officer Major General Cecil Estekaigbe. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you for having me, John.
It was quite a ceremony, across the states to remember those who've paid the ultimate price and others. But looking at the armed forces today, what's the significance of this kind of ceremony today?
Well, globally, this is a solemn day declared to remember those great men and women who paid the supreme price to keep the country united and for the peace that we all enjoy today. So today, 15th of January, which was the day the Nigerian Civil War was over, was Nigeria adopted this day for their own Armed Forces Remembrance Day. You will remember that these great men and women, for our today, they gave their tomorrow. For our tomorrow, they gave our today, sorry. So it's a solemn remembrance of their own sacrifice and the huge, commitment they have to keep the country united.
Well, when you talk about it being a solemn remembrance, one of the things that always comes up when this Remembrance Day is upon us is what happens to those who are left behind, widows, children. They're never really in a state, in a good state, and they always use this day to say, if you really and truly honor those who served, why aren't you looking after those who are left behind? What do you think?
Yes, the government cannot do everything. They are making their own efforts to see to the welfare of the family of those great men and women that fell in the battlefield. This is why all the public sectors should also come in the aid of government. For instance, in some countries, apart from the monetary value and the welfare of these families, the morale that they are boosted when they realize that their loved one did not die in vain. And that is why sometimes we wonder, the 10th line of our national anthem, we said, the labors of our hero past should not be in vain. How do you ensure this? Is to ensure that the family they are left behind are being well catered up, and they are assured that, yes, their family did not actually die in vain. For instance, apart from the monetary incentives and the welfare they deserve, I think in public functions, there should be a conscious effort of, lest we forget that, yeah, these people die for us. Like the private airline, for instance, they can give military officers, and their families, and the families of the dead ones, a rebate for their ticket. Even in public functions, there's a conscious effort to remember them by saying, are there families of, fallen heroes here? Are there members of the veteran in this club? You give them a 30-second recognition. This boosts the morale of those people that are left behind.
Okay,
Two, the various welfare schemes
yes,
families of these heroes are not enough, but there is none that they are not doing anything. But the government need to up it up, supported by the whole public sector.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But today is also a day you look at the state of those who are alive, beyond those who we honor, who've done their best for the country. Looking at the sort of wars that the military is fighting now, or the armed forces, an unconventional war where you can't really see the enemy, what sort of encouragement do you hope the military should get to be able to prosecute the war against terror and all the other security challenges that we have? Quickly.
The difference between a soldier and another man of the street is the weapon they carry, their training, and their mandate. So the military should be properly equipped. Even in the sub-region, the people that constitute the multinational joint task force, Niger, Chad, Niger has about 2.7% of their GDP for military spending, while that of Chad is 4%. Nigeria has 0.43% in GDP for spending for the military. So we need to properly equip the military. We need to properly fund them. Their morale needs to be upped, and their welfare should be paramount in the calculation of government. Major General
Cecil Esekaiwe, retired military officer, thanks a lot for coming on and sharing your thoughts with us on the news at 10 tonight. And let's move on to another issue. The Sokoto State Governor, Aminu Tambuwal, has decried the attack on Gandi district in Sokoto State, which resulted in the death of 26 of the locals. The governor, who was speaking after attending the funeral of the deceased villagers, gave the people of Sokoto the assurance of his government's resolve to protect lives and property in the state. 3 villagers in Gandi district, Rabba local government area of Sokoto State, were attacked by armed bandits on Sunday, January the 14th. According to Governor Tambuwal, in the last 3 years, his state has come under severe attack from bandits who have come through Zamfara state.
Lost about 26 of them, 24 male and 2 females. I will pray that God Almighty shall grant their souls eternal rest. I appeal to the people of this area and indeed the entire state to continue to cooperate with security agencies that have been upfit. They've been doing their best in ensuring that we maintain the peace of the state. In the last 3.5 years, we have come under severe and intense pressure from the flanks of Zamfara, where this act of banditry is taking place. And the government of Sokoto State, in collaboration with the security agencies in the state, have been doing their best to ensure that we repel them and maintain the peace of the state. But unfortunately, this incident had happened. We shall continue to do our best as a government to protect lives and properties of our citizens. That is our responsibility, and we shall continue to discharge that responsibility. I therefore appeal for cooperation from citizens to work alongside with village heads, hamlet heads, district heads, and other leaders of society whenever there is an information of a pending attack, so that that can be repelled and proactive measures be taken by security agencies.
Let's cross over to Abuja again. Here's Linda Akigwe. Hey, Linda.
Hello, Ijoma. Now, staying in Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari today decorated the new Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mohammed Adamu, at the presidential villa. The decoration took place at a meeting also attended by the outgoing police chief, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, who is just retired from active service after spending the mandatory 35 years as a police officer. Until his appointment, Mr. Adamu was a directing staff at the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, in Pt.2 State. The new police chief, who hails from Lafia in Nasarawa State, was born on November the 9th, 1961, and holds a Bachelor of Science in Geography. After his decoration, the new IGP promised to be professional and impartial and to re-strategize towards effectively tackling kidnapping and other security challenges in the country.
I would like to thank Mr. President for considering me worthy to be the next Inspector General of Police. And we know there are challenges, security challenges that we need to tackle in the country. We have issues of kidnapping, we have issues of abduction, we have some other security challenges, and we are going to re-strategize. From the strategy the former Inspector General put in place, we will re-strategize to make sure that we tackle these challenges head. Election, you've heard from the former Inspector General of Police, adequate arrangement has been made to make sure that free and fair and credible election takes place in Nigeria. And we're going to build up on the strategies put in place to also make sure that we have hitch-free election in the country.
Are you going to allay the fears of the opposition that you are not going to be partisan?
Well, we are professionals. We are going to stick by the rules. We're going to do the right thing. We will not go outside the ethics of our job to do things that are untoward. Everybody will be given level playing ground to play his or her politics.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
When the News at 10 returns, global stock markets rally as crude oil prices surge on signs of lower U.S. oil stocks and possible economic stimulus in China. That's some business news. Join us again.